Brief account of the English character. Brief account of the English character. 大英国人士略说 Compilers note 暗语 believing in the power of print in converting and educating the Chinese. 19th century European traders and missionaries invested significant amounts of energy and money in the dissemination of tracts on the China coast. One of these ephemera was 大英国人士略说 Brief account of the English character. It was first drafted in English by Charles Marjoribanks, President of the English East India Company's Select Committee in Canton. Robert Morrison, 马礼逊, a missionary, sinologist, translated the manuscript into Chinese and printed hundreds of copies at his 英华书院 Anglo-Chinese College in Malacca, Malacca. In 1832, despite his colleagues' objection, Marjoribanks engaged Charles Gutzlaff, 郭士立 or 郭士辣, a German missionary, and Hugh Hamilton Lindsay, the company's supercargo, to make an illegal voyage to China's coastal waters in order to ascertain how far the northern ports of the Chinese Empire may be gradually opened to British commerce. Ship Amherst, P3. He asked the voyagers to load a ship with English products for sale as well as cases of his pamphlet for distribution. What follows is a side bilingually, text of the tract. On the left is Marjoribanks's English manuscript, anonymously edited and published in the Canton Register dated July 18, 1832, 广州记事报. On the right is a complete transcription of the Chinese tract with punctuation added. Typographical errors in both texts were not corrected. Please scroll down to see page images of each document. The Chinese tract's images are courtesy of Harvard, Yanqing Library Chinese Rare Books Digitization Project. Besides the edited one in the Canton Register, there is another extant, unedited manuscript of Marjoribanks's, housed in the British Library. My earlier work, representing Great England to Qing China in the Age of Free Trade Imperialism, the circulation of a tract by Charles Marjoribanks on the China coast provides the full text of this manuscript and an introduction. Please visit 19th Century Scholarship online http://www.9th.org/ representing Great England page eating man sale, PhD brief account of the English character, Charles Marjoribanks, The Canton Register 5.10, July 18, 1832 p 68横线69。道光12年壬辰孟春新捐大英国人士略说，马礼逊 Robert Morrison 译，英华书院藏版 Brief Account of the English Character。英吉利国人品国士略说 The English people inhabit a country, at the distance of 16000 miles from China, at least this space is passed over by ships, from the necessity of their proceeding round the southern continent of Africa. Some idea may be formed of the spirit and enterprise of a nation, whose vessels traverse so vast an ocean, in safety and with facility. They frequently encounter severe tempests, but from the skill of their officers, and the bold and daring character of the seamen, ships are rarely lost. Pirates or enemies do not venture to attack them. They bring the manufactures and productions of remote countries, and receive in exchange those of China. By this means the subjects, both of the Chinese and British empires, are enriched, industry is greatly encouraged, and men are rendered happy and useful members of society. 英国人原活之地，距中华有7万里之远，即是其船往南转亚非里加州之大地方，遂来东北道越必行这样远路。即英国人坐船快捷，安然渡行，泛此重大海洋，其敢为本事可见也。有时依遇着狂风大作，但赖船主火长等之善策，烧人之胆行，未几何致破船之患。又且在洋面海贼国敌等，都不敢相攻也。英国船所带进口的系远国之土产之制造各物，所带出口者系华夏之茶叶等货。如是华、英两国商人发财裕国，且平民有功夫做的饭食，为良人度日，享此福矣。The English have traded for upwards of 200 years with China, and from 60 to 80 vessels under the English flag are frequently within 12 months in the Chinese waters. To how many tens of thousands of natives does not such a commerce give useful employment? 英国与中华交易由来200年之久，且今每年陆续到粤进口插带英国旗之船有60、80只之多。由此贸易起飞数十万人的有功夫做磨。The policy of the English government has often in China been most falsely represented, and it has been stated to be ambitious and desirous of increase of territory. No assertion can be more distant from truth. The dominions of England are already so large that the policy of the government is rather to diminish than to enlarge them. Besides the mother country, it has several valuable possessions in Europe. It has large territories in North America, and numerous islands in the West Indies. The Cape of Good Hope, in Africa, belongs to it. It has several prosperous settlements in Australia. Numerous islands in Asia are subject to its rule, and the ancient territory of Hindustan with all the regions pertaining thereto is now included in the British Empire. The small settlements of Penang, Martaban, Malacca, and Singapore are those most contiguous to China. The government of so great an empire has no thirst for conquest. Its great object and aim is to preserve its subjects in a condition of happiness and tranquility. But while most desirous of doing so, it is very jealous of insult, and ever ready to avenge oppression and injustice. 英国国朝之治意，屡被人在东土妄称极有假言，以英国总是多贪广开新地，但谎言莫大于此。盖英国之地方，现在太多，可减少，不可增多也。除英国母的外，其在欧罗巴亦有贵的方，在北亚米利加其亦有好大地方，又在西新度其有海岛甚多。在亚非里加及南角好望之甲为英国之属地，又于太平南洋有属英国许多发达下落之地方，中者在亚细亚洲多有海岛，且新都斯远古国各地方皆入英国版图矣。其最近中国属英国之下落地方为毕能部、马的班部、马拉加部与仙加波部。夫英国朝廷既经有了这多大地方，何得复可望开新地乎？其所上者，特为养护英民，享平安纳福乐而已。但怀此一时，人最忌恨被人之欺负，且必想报压制被役之仇也。The object and endeavor of the English in China have always been to carry on a pacific and amicable intercourse. But their anxiety to do so has, on several occasions, been frustrated. The benevolent disposition of the great Emperor of China has induced him to state his desire to treat remote foreigners with indulgence and consideration, but the imperial benevolence of mind has, on several occasions, in past years, been opposed by subordinate officers of his government. Foreigners trading to Canton have been heavily taxed and oppressed, and commerce has been greatly impeded by the exactions to which it has been exposed. Natives have repeatedly been heavily fined and punished, sometimes cruelly tortured and put to death, for alleged treasonable connection with the English, whose only object was to conduct a commercial intercourse in tranquility, and to obey the imperial laws. In addition to the government duties, large sums of money have been forced from native merchants, and bribes have been received by inferior officers. Both natives and foreigners have been subject to these oppressions. The imperial ear is too remote that even the echo of such things should be heard, for they are often done in darkness and silence, but the great and enlarged mind of the emperor can never approve of such acts on the part of his servants. 大清国大皇帝怀柔远人之志意，但近年屡次因立宪不体行上旨，所以皇恩不及远客。且驻越外国商人之贸易，因利源之勒索，多被阻拦。又且民商因被诬告，以与英国人勾结为汉奸，则至罚银，或拷打，或冤狱，毙命皆有之。但英国人特愿照例买卖，公道贸易，纳饷而已，何奸情之有哉？又且镇饷外，洋商多被勒索银两。且有下例暗中要贿赂漏规，如是内商与远商均被压害。盖皇上耳朵离越省遥远，治世之应声，亦不得听闻，因所成弊端，多在黑阴逆偶而作矣。不然何得上至宏大者，依允下例之妄为乎？Printed placards have even been affixed to the walls of public buildings, traducing the foreign character, and encouraging low and degraded natives to insult strangers who resort to China. Affrays and riots have frequently in consequence taken place, the public peace has been disturbed, and commercial intercourse interrupted. How much are the police officers to blame, who do not put an end to such improper and unjust proceedings? English sailors are often rude in manner, though kind in disposition. They cannot bear insult, hence riots take place, wounds are inflicted, and death is sometimes the consequence. On board English ships that resort to China, strict discipline is preserved, and the men are immediately punished if they commit violent acts towards natives or others, but discipline is of little avail if low natives are encouraged by low officers to insult and attack them. The laws of England make no distinction of persons, and an Englishman is as severely punished for an act of violence towards a Chinese as he is for one towards a fellow countryman. 又一层，或时街贴街上，有臭欲力骂远客，谎言暗指，以逆性之恶行，致惹贱民欺凌远客。且原此其有滋生斗殴伤杀等弊，即终停止贸易，阻害公干，但此患岂非衙门办理不善所致乎？英国水手虽外形似粗，内怀尚存人温之心，但依耐不得受人凌辱，所以民人非礼言行时，致滋事酿出命案。抵越之英国各船上有严束水手人等之例，倘强害何人，不论民人与否，必要治其罪。但既有衙吏放纵贱民，任意欺凌远客， 则船上严数为致敬免闹事也。照英国法律，不分内外人色，其加害于外国人或于英民者，治其罪同为一例，皆准上衙自白其理，亦准给律师为助远客之意。The manners and customs of all nations are different. With just allowance made for such difference, why should not Chinese and Englishmen live together on terms of friendly cordiality? The commands of the Sovereign of England to his subjects are, wherever they go in the world, to endeavour to maintain an amicable and pacific intercourse with the people of the country, but never to be forgetful of their national name or honour. When Chinese subjects arrive in England, or in any other part of the English dominions, they live under the protection of the laws, which are equally administered to them with the natives of the country. Their wrongs and injuries are all equally redressed. 夫各国风俗大同小异，但虽其内有相异者，小事达理之人可能比比相数，则亲英两国人何不有心和睦交易乎？英国帝君常令其众民以不论往向通天下何处，务要立誓与各国人守有睦之往来。唯总不可忘记英国之美名之贵体等意，或欲亲国人到英国各地方，皆准之安住，似英民一般，故无人敢欺之害之，而未蒙官吏申其冤也。Instead, then, of being encouraged to acts of enmity towards each other, why should not Chinese and English strive together, which should most excel in acts of beneficence and kindness? In many instances, natives of China, who have been found shipwrecked on barren islands, in the midst of the boisterous ocean, have been saved by the crews of English vessels, unfortunate men who must otherwise have perished in want and misery. British sailors have long been distinguished for such acts of humanity, and are taught to glory in them, more than even in deeds of war. Yet these are the persons whom the natives of China are sometimes told, by designing men, to insult and despise. 既然情由如此，何苦要惹彼此相敌乎？何不彼此力劝自勉，相争前进，看谁可出上头，为仁慈恩爱之行作矣。即如向来屡次遇清国难水手，在大洋中荒舟破船处，蒙英国水手争先相救，遂带回中华，送到父母妻子等。倘非如此，该人无奈在彼海岛饿死。彼等人情，是英国水手以为可容，过于上乘杀贼之功矣。尚且世上有奸人妄指英国水手可为欺凌藐视，岂不可恶哉？ The people of China are highly intelligent, industrious, and prosperous, but they are not the only people in the world that are so. Ignorant men have sometimes foolishly taught that all that is good is centered in China, but that the rest of the earth is worthless. How vain and childish is the man who reasons thus! If he had visited other countries, he would have discovered that heaven had in its bounty and mercy bestowed manifold blessings on many other regions of the earth. In England, the people live in tranquility, their persons and property are protected by the laws, their religion inculcates peace upon earth and goodwill towards all men. They have arrived at a wonderful state of improvement in arts and science, and in the cultivation of all those means which serve to civilize mankind. They are feared in times of war, and honored in times of peace. There is no country with which it is more the interest of China to remain on terms of friendly intercourse than England. It carries on a great and lucrative commerce with this empire, and the confines of its Indian dominions almost border upon those of China. One river which rises in Yunnan flows through a portion of the British territory. 倾国人民为高明勤恭兴旺者，但普天下非独清人为如此。素有无志之人愚，然教以所有之美好人物尽在中国，其余他国为见陋，无值何也？但仍有如是之教训，则何等徒虚小而之见哉？倘该人今往治天下别国，则可见天心无私，乃恩慈公同赐于地球各方，甚多美物。即因国一处，人民太平安居，亲体财物皆为法律所护，无人敢侵害。又因人所奉救世主耶稣之教，特欲训以余的神赐太平，且恩义向众生矣。因人今大尽格物记忆文墨诗书之学，可令人雅致礼义圣善之德行也。因人于用兵时备人之位，于习兵时备人之贵，所有各国内亲国该修好者，因国为第一也。其年来之贸易为重大，其边界近乎昆连及云南省发的一条河，流英国一所地方，而入大海。It is much to the honor of Chinese merchants that they are strict and accurate in their commercial dealings, and in some instances have shown acts of much liberality to foreigners. The pride of a British merchant is to be just and liberal in his dealings. The high name and reputation of the English East India Company in China has long been established. The promise of its servants is as good as money accurately weighed, and its faith pledged in any mercantile transaction has never once been broken. Let the people of China think profoundly upon these things, and not treat lightly persons of this stamp and character. Let the officers of government, in accordance with the decrees of the benevolent Emperor of China, treat foreigners with the respect and consideration to which they are entitled. Then, indeed, will there be peace, union, and harmony between the native and British community in China. 清国商人多为公平勤恭办事，且或时向远商有仁义大量之后行。英国商人所以为贵者，系公道丰厚交易，即如英国公班牙派人驻越贸易者，由来已久，有名声矣。其主事人等所应许为妥当，若今照数收银两全完，则向来做生理，依所应承，从未一次反口。兹请大清国人民深想上臣之各条，不要经视这种才具品行之人，且奉官职者，宜敬体大皇帝后代礼接远人之志意，则果然将来在中华之英人与内地人民，故为彼此有见和睦，各安本业享福矣。A friend to China and England, whose anxious desire is the happiness of his fellow men, traces with a feeble pen this hasty and imperfect sketch. 华英两国之友，特愿我人类众生皆可想征服者，用软且聪手此笔。大英国人士略说中 Canton Press Header P 67 Canton Press P 68 Canton Press P 69 Title Page 1A Page 1A 1B Page 1B 2A Page 2A 2B Page 2B 3A Page 3A 3B Page 3B 4A Page 4A 4B Page 4B 5A Page 5A 5B Page 5B 6A Page 6A 6B Page 6B and of the Project Gutenberg ebook brief account of the English character updated editions will replace the previous one. The old editions will be renamed Creating the works from print editions not protected by U.S. copyright law means that no one owns a United States copyright in these works, so the Foundation, NU, can copy and distribute it in the United States without permission and without paying copyright royalties. Special rules, set forth in the general terms of use part of this license, apply to copying and distributing Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic works to protect the Project Gutenberg 商标 concept and trademark. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark, and may not be used if you charge for an ebook, except by following the terms of the trademark license, including paying royalties for use of the Project Gutenberg trademark. If you do not charge anything for copies of this ebook, complying with the trademark license is very easy. You may use this ebook for nearly any purpose, such as creation of derivative works, reports, performances and research. Project Gutenberg ebooks may be modified and printed and given away. You may do practically anything in the United States with ebooks not protected by U.S. copyright law. Redistribution is subject to the trademark license, especially commercial redistribution. Start. Full license. The full Project Gutenberg license. Please read this before you distribute or use this work to protect the Project Gutenberg 商标 mission of promoting the free distribution of electronic works, by using or distributing this work, or any other work associated in any way with the phrase Project Gutenberg. You agree to comply with all the terms of the full Project Gutenberg 商标 license available with this file or online at www.gutenberg.org/license. Section E. General terms of use and redistributing Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic works. By reading or using any part of this Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic work, you indicate that you have read, understand, agree to and accept all the terms of this license and intellectual property, trademark copyright agreement. If you do not agree to abide by all the terms of this agreement, you must cease using and return or destroy all copies of Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic works in your possession. If you paid a fee for obtaining a copy of or access to a Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic work and you do not agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement, you may obtain a refund from the person or entity to whom you paid the fee as set forth in paragraph E8. EB Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark. It may only be used on or associated in any way with an electronic work by people who agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement. There are a few things that you can do with most Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic works even without complying with the full terms of this agreement. See paragraph EC below. There are a lot of things you can do with Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic works if you follow the terms of this agreement and help preserve free future access to Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic works. See paragraph EE below. EC The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the foundation or PGLOF, owns a compilation copyright in the collection of Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic works. Nearly all the individual works in the collection are in the public domain in the United States. If an individual work is unprotected by copyright law in the United States and you are located in the United States, we do not claim a right to prevent you from copying, distributing, performing, displaying or creating derivative works based on the work as long as all references to Project Gutenberg are removed. Of course, we hope that you will support the Project Gutenberg 商标 mission of promoting free access to electronic works by freely sharing Project Gutenberg 商标 works in compliance with the terms of this agreement for keeping the Project Gutenberg 商标 name associated with the work. You can easily comply with the terms of this agreement by keeping this work in the same format with its attached full Project Gutenberg 商标 license when you share it without charge with others. The copyright laws of the place where you are located also govern what you can do with this work. Copyright laws in most countries are in a constant state of change. If you are outside the United States, check the laws of your country in addition to the terms of this agreement before downloading, copying, displaying, performing, distributing or creating derivative works based on this work or any other Project Gutenberg 商标 work. The Foundation makes no representations concerning the copyright status of any work in any country other than the United States. Unless you have removed all references to Project Gutenberg. The following sentence, with active links to, or other immediate access to, the full Project Gutenberg 商标 license must appear prominently whenever any copy of a Project Gutenberg 商标 work, any work on which the phrase Project Gutenberg appears, or with which the phrase Project Gutenberg is associated, is accessed, displayed, performed, viewed, copied or distributed. This ebook is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away or use it under the terms of the Project Gutenberg license included with this ebook or online at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this ebook. If an individual Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic work is derived from texts not protected by U.S. copyright law, does not contain a notice indicating that it is posted with permission of the copyright holder, the work can be copied and distributed to anyone in the United States without paying any fees or charges. If you are redistributing or providing access to a work with the phrase Project Gutenberg associated with or appearing on the work, you must comply either with the requirements of paragraphs EE through EE7 or obtain permission for the use of the work and the Project Gutenberg 商标 trademark as set forth in paragraphs EE8 or EE9. EE3. If an individual Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic work is posted with the permission of the copyright holder, your use and distribution must comply with both paragraphs EE through EE7 and any additional terms imposed by the copyright holder. Additional terms will be linked to the Project Gutenberg 商标 license for all works posted with the permission of the copyright holder found at the beginning of this work. EE4. Do not unlink or detach or remove the full Project Gutenberg 商标 license terms from this work, or any files containing a part of this work or any other work associated with Project Gutenberg 商标。115. Do not copy, display, perform, distribute or redistribute this electronic work, or any part of this electronic work, without prominently displaying the sentence set forth in paragraph EEE with active links or immediate access to the full terms of the Project Gutenberg 商标 license. 116. You may convert to and distribute this work in any binary, compressed, marked up, non-proprietary or proprietary form, including any word processing or hypertext form. However, if you provide access to or distribute copies of a Project Gutenberg 商标 work in a format other than plain vanilla ASCII or other format used in the official version posted on the official Project Gutenberg 商标 website, www.gutenberg.org, you must, at no additional cost, fee or expense to the user, provide a copy, a means of exporting a copy, or a means of obtaining a copy upon request, of the work in its original plain vanilla ASCII or other form. Any alternate format must include the full Project Gutenberg 商标 license as specified in paragraph EEE. 117. Do not charge a fee for access to, viewing, displaying, performing, copying or distributing any Project Gutenberg 商标 works unless you comply with paragraph 118 or 119. 118. You may charge a reasonable fee for copies of or providing access to or distributing Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic works provided that you pay a royalty fee of 20% of the gross profits you derive from the use of Project Gutenberg 商标 works calculated using the method you already used to calculate your applicable taxes. The fee is owed to the owner of the Project Gutenberg 商标 trademark, but he has agreed to donate royalties under this paragraph to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Royalty payments must be paid within 60 days following each date on which you prepare, or are legally required to prepare, your periodic tax returns. Royalty payments should be clearly marked as such and sent to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation at the address specified in Section 4, Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. You provide a full refund of any money paid by a user who notifies you in writing, or by email, within 30 days of receipt that he does not agree to the terms of the full Project Gutenberg 商标 license. You must require such a user to return or destroy all copies of the works possessed in a physical medium and discontinue all use of and all access to other copies of Project Gutenberg 商标 works. You provide, in accordance with paragraph EF3, a full refund of any money paid for a work or a replacement copy, if a defect in the electronic work is discovered and reported to you within 90 days of receipt of the work. You comply with all other terms of this agreement for free distribution of Project Gutenberg 商标 works. 119. If you wish to charge a fee or distribute a Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic work or group of works on different terms than are set forth in this agreement, you must obtain permission in writing from the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the manager of the Project Gutenberg 商标 trademark. Contact the foundation as set forth in Section 3 below. EFE Project Gutenberg volunteers and employees expend considerable effort to identify, do copyright research on, transcribe and proofread works not protected by U.S. copyright law in creating the Project Gutenberg 商标 collection. Despite these efforts, Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic works, and the medium on which they may be stored, may contain defects, such as, but not limited to, incomplete, inaccurate or corrupt data, transcription errors, a copyright or other intellectual property infringement, a defective or damaged disk or other medium, a computer virus, or computer codes that damage or cannot be read by your equipment. EFR Limited warranty. Disclaimer of damages, except for the right of replacement or refund described in paragraph EF3, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the owner of the Project Gutenberg 商标 trademark, and any other party distributing a Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic work under this agreement, disclaim all liability to you for damages, costs and expenses, including legal fees. You agree that you have no remedies for negligence, strict liability, breach of warranty or breach of contract except those provided in paragraph EF3. You agree that the foundation, the trademark owner, and any distributor under this agreement will not be liable to you for actual, direct, indirect, consequential, punitive or incidental damages even if you give notice of the possibility of such damage. EF3 Limited right of replacement or refund. If you discover a defect in this electronic work within 90 days of receiving it, you can receive a refund of the money, if any, you paid for it by sending a written explanation to the person you received the work from. If you received the work on a physical medium, you must return the medium with your written explanation. The person or entity that provided you with the defective work may elect to provide a replacement copy in lieu of a refund. If you received the work electronically, the person or entity providing it to you may choose to give you a second opportunity to receive the work electronically in lieu of a refund. If the second copy is also defective, you may demand a refund in writing without further opportunities to fix the problem. EF4 Except for the limited right of replacement or refund set forth in paragraph EF3, this work is provided to UAS, IS, with no other warranties of any kind, express or implied, including but not limited to warranties of merchantability or fitness for any purpose. EF5 Some states do not allow disclaimers of certain implied warranties or the exclusion or limitation of certain types of damages. If any disclaimer or limitation set forth in this agreement violates the law of the state applicable to this agreement, the agreement shall be interpreted to make the maximum disclaimer or limitation permitted by the applicable state law. The invalidity or unenforceability of any provision of this agreement shall not void the remaining provisions. EF6 Indemnity. You agree to indemnify and hold the foundation, the trademark owner, any agent or employee of the foundation, anyone providing copies of Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic works in accordance with this agreement, and any volunteers associated with the production, promotion and distribution of Project Gutenberg 商标 electronic works, harmless from all liability, costs and expenses, including legal fees, that arise directly or indirectly from any of the following which you do or cause to occur. A. Distribution of this or any Project Gutenberg 商标 work. B. Alteration, modification, or additions or deletions to any Project Gutenberg 商标 work. And C. Any defect you cause. Section 2. Information about the mission of Project Gutenberg 商标 Project Gutenberg 商标 is synonymous with the free distribution of electronic works in formats readable by the widest variety of computers including obsolete, old, middle-aged and new computers. It exists because of the efforts of hundreds of volunteers and donations from people in all walks of life. Volunteers and financial support to provide volunteers with the assistance they need are critical to reaching Project Gutenberg 商标's goals and ensuring that the Project Gutenberg 商标 collection will remain freely available for generations to come. In 2001, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation was created to provide a secure and permanent future for Project Gutenberg 商标 and future generations. To learn more about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation and how your efforts and donations can help, see sections 3 and 4 and the Foundation information page at www.gutenberg.org. Section 3. Information about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation is a non-profit 501(c)(3) educational corporation organized under the laws of the state of Mississippi and granted tax-exempt status by the Internal Revenue Service. The Foundation's SIN or Federal Tax Identification Number is 646221541. Contributions to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation are tax-deductible to the full extent permitted by U.S. federal laws and your state's laws. The Foundation's business office is located at 809 North 1500 West, Salt Lake City, UT 84116, 801-596-1887. Email contact links and up-to-date contact information can be found at the Foundation's website and official page at www.gutenberg.org/contact section 4. Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Project Gutenberg 商标 depends upon and cannot survive without widespread public support and donations to carry out its mission of increasing the number of public domain and licensed works that can be freely distributed in machine-readable form accessible by the widest array of equipment including outdated equipment. Many small donations, $1 to $5,000, are particularly important to maintaining tax-exempt status with the IRS. The Foundation is committed to complying with the laws regulating charities and charitable donations in all 50 states of the United States. Compliance requirements are not uniform and it takes a considerable effort, much paperwork and many fees to meet and keep up with these requirements. We do not solicit donations in locations where we have not received written confirmation of compliance. To send donations or determine the status of compliance for any particular state, visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. While we cannot and do not solicit contributions from states where we have not met the solicitation requirements, we know of no prohibition against accepting unsolicited donations from donors in such states who approach us with offers to donate. International donations are gratefully accepted, but we cannot make any statements concerning tax treatment of donations received from outside the United States. U.S. laws alone swamp our small staff. Please check the Project Gutenberg web pages for current donation methods and addresses. Donations are accepted in a number of other ways, including checks, online payments, and credit card donations. To donate, please visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. Section 5. General information about Project Gutenberg. 商标 Electronic Works. Professor Michael S. Hart was the originator of the Project Gutenberg 商标 concept of a library of electronic works that could be freely shared with anyone. For 40 years, he produced and distributed Project Gutenberg 商标 ebooks with only a loose network of volunteer support. Project Gutenberg 商标 ebooks are often created from several printed editions, all of which are confirmed as not protected by copyright in the US unless a copyright notice is included. Thus, we do not necessarily keep ebooks in compliance with any particular paper edition. Most people start at our website, which has the ManPG search facility, www.gutenberg.org. This website includes information about Project Gutenberg 商标, including how to make donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, how to help produce our new ebooks, and how to subscribe to our email newsletter to hear about new ebooks.